Lucas Johansen, right, has a lot of players in front of him to reach the Capitals roster. Matt McLean. The Washington Post, by Isabel Kerstadian. Isabel Kerstadian, reporter covering the Washington Capitals. Email bio follows September 20 at 12:14 p.m. As Lucas Johansen watched the Washington Capitals offseason unfold from afar, he tipped his cap to general manager Brian MacLellan and also read the writing on the wall. Coming off a franchise-first Stanley Cup, MacLellan was able to re-sign both John Carlson and Mitchell Kempny, trading veteran defenseman Brooks Orpik to get his $5 million cap hit off the books, only to then sign him to a cheaper contract once the Colorado Avalanche cut him loose with a buyout. The result was a championship defense returning in total for another run. It also meant Johansen would be attending a training camp with no real chance of making the NHL roster. "It's tough," Johansen said. "Matt did a great job keeping a Stanley Cup team together, which hats off to him, because that's really hard to do. As a guy in here, you just want to be competitive. You just want to show them that, if they need you, you're going to be relied on to make the step up." Capitals make their first round of training camp cuts over the past 4 drafts. The Capitals have had 22 selections, and they've used 12 of them to take defensemen, including their 2 most recent first-round picks, Johansen in 2016 and Alex Alexeyev this past summer. Meanwhile, Washington has steadily shored up its defense and locked up much of it long-term. The team's top 4, Matt Niskanen, Dmitry Orlov, Carlson, and Kempny, are all under contract through at least the 2020-21 season. Orpik is on a 1-year deal, and while this might be his last season in Washington, the Capitals still have 24-year-old Christian Djoos and 23-year-old Madison Bowie, who both played the majority of last season as rookies and are expected to get more responsibility going forward. Blue line stability after a Stanley Cup is a good thing, but it's also created a logjam for the organization's prospects. MacLellan pointed to 2015 second-round pick Jonas Sigenthaler, 2013 seventh-rounder Tyler Lewington, and Johansen is all ready to start playing some games and establish themselves as Oilers. "I think we're as deep as we've ever been on defense this year," MacLellan said. With Washington coming off a short summer with less time to recover and train after a long playoff run, the team might be more vulnerable to early season injuries. Carlson and center Lars Eller were nursing minor lower body injuries before training camp even started, so Capitals coach Todd Reirden has told eager prospects that the competition in the preseason isn't just to make the opening night roster. But we can attest that the first call-up can be just as important. He impressed in training camp a year ago, but in part because he was waivers exempt and could be sent to the American Hockey League without any risk. Bowie was among one of the last cuts. Niskanen then broke his thumb just 5 games into the season, and Bowie was back, ultimately playing in 51 games. Capitals audition replacements for Jay Beagle in preseason home opener. "Anything can happen," Johansen said. "You don't wish an injury on anybody, but it is a hockey season and things happen, so if the opportunity arises, then I'll be ready." Johansen made his preseason debut Tuesday, playing to the left of Niskanen.